All right, now I'm going to show you the array command so you can create your lots that are 50 feet in front width. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use the right-of-way line and start there. Now I'm going to draw a line, a polyline, and I'm going to go shift and right click on my mouse, and I'm going to use the intersection. And I'm going to use this point right here. And I'm going to go shift and right click, and I'm going to go perpendicular. Now I'm going perpendicular to the lot line that I created. Now here's the thing. I'm going to use the array command, and I'm going to array it around a path. There's other ways to do this. You can use the parcel. I used to do the parcel objects in Civil 3D, but I actually find I'm quicker because I know exactly what I want to create using the array command, knowing all the rules and regulations. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break this point right here. So I'm going to come down here to my command prompt, and I'm going to type in the word break. Now I'm going to break the right-of-way line, and I'm going to break it to the end point here. If it doesn't snap to the end point that you want, let's say it accidentally and you shifted it, and let's say it was, whoops, let's say when you hit break it, wow, give me 1 second. Let's say it hit here. Well, you can go ahead and use your grip edit and make sure you go to the end point. And the reason I'm picking here is I know that instead of arraying it around the outside as a path, I want to array it around the inside because this arc controls, and so does the front arc, the front lot line. So what I'm going to do now is this is the line I want to array by. So up here is my array. Make sure you pull this down and click on path. So now it says select the path you want to array about. I'm going to array it about that line. Okay, so that's way not right. We know that this has to be 50 feet. So I'm going to come up here. It automatically pulls up these contextual tabs, and I'm going to say in between, and I'm going to type in 50. There is my 50 ones. Now, it's a lot whacked through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter again to get out of the command, and this time I'm going to explode these lines. To explode the lines, come down here. You can use this box right here as explode, or you can type in EXP, and then it'll help you pop up here. You actually have to type the whole word command explode if you want to explode it. And I'm going to explode the lines that I created. Now I'm going to get rid of these on this side here because this doesn't actually fit. Okay, I'm going to get rid of those. And now I am going to, on this one, I'm going to fill it from this line here to this line here with a 0. Okay, and then I'm going to array again. Okay, I'm not going to have houses along this side because they're not 100 feet in depth. So I'm going to fill it, F for fillet, R for radius, and I'm going to type in 0. And I'm going to pick this point, this line, and that line there. Okay. Now I can also create one more. I can go offset 50 feet. Whoops. Let me explode that. X for explode. Offset 50 feet. Sorry, you don't have to type it. Explode. Offset it 50 feet. But now I need to have 100 feet in depth. So I typically do things by circles or by lines. If I draw a line, a parent intersection, shift right click, shift right click. If this annoys you, I'm sorry guys. I'm just trying to make sure, explain every command that I'm doing on my keyboard since you can't see me. So now I created a line, and I'm going to offset that 100 feet because that would be a lot. Now you can actually fillet radius a 0, or you can extend. So I'm going to go extend, and then I'm going to click that line and click that line, and I'm going to delete that line. And then I'm going to trim, TR for trim, hit enter. And now I'm going to use the cutting edge because if I trim, I have to trim this little bit, that little bit, that little bit. So I'm going to use the cutting edge. I'm going to pick this line here, hit enter, whoops, and pick that. All right, so now it looks like that, okay? So I can get an extra house in there. And I could probably do that around each side and make sure that it's 100 feet in depth. It'll look a little odd, so that'll be a choice. Now, I'm going to leave it like this because I'm going to say a park area is going to go through here. There's also rules that say that a subdivision has to have so much open space or recreation. In Osceola County, for example, the open space is 20% of your project. And then usually about 10% based on engineering, 10 to 15% based on engineering is how much you need for ponds, usually wet ponds. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and finish up adding lots on this side. So I'm going to show you the array command again. This time I'm going to explode this line, X for explode, and then I'm going to offset 100 feet here, okay? Now, this is too tight of a radius to really do anything with. So I'm going to put houses down this direction. So I'm going to put P line, endpoint to perpendicular. You can see that my snaps are on, so I don't have to hit shift right click. Now I'm just going to offset 50 feet. The array command is nicer because you don't have to click the object, pick the side. Click the object, pick the side. Click the object, pick the side. Okay, notice that it won't fit here. Remember what I said about side yard setbacks. So typically you have a side yard setback of 10 to 15 feet. So I am just going to leave it like this for right now. This is just a learning tool. You'll learn more about efficiency when you go to lay out the lots. All right, now that's going to get me my alignment. That's going to get me my layout of my lots. All right, now the other thing that I want to show, the center line should have been the center line on the road. I just realized this. The center line of the road should have been centers. There we go, center 2. And it's center 2 because it's a style. Also make sure down here your scale is set. When you go to print, that'll be important. You'll also need to check your LST, your line type scale. Oops, sorry. LTS, your line type scale. Okay, so that's it, 0.5. Usually that works. Let's see. Okay. All right, and the reason it's not showing is because of the scale. If I change that here, I do not recommend doing this, but you can change that to a different line type scale and you'll see the hidden, but usually I don't recommend doing that. It should show up when you go to print it in paper space. So this is model space. I don't know if your class showed you paper space, but this would be paper space. And you can see that, you can see the hidden line, and you can see that, you know, the colors and everything. When we go to print it, it'll be different. I'm not going to get into that right now. Right now it's just getting you started on the basic commands. All right, now there's something else that I want to show you, and that is let's pause here in the video so I don't go overboard in time-wise. I'm going to pause here and I'm going to start another video, and I want to show you how to do an alignment and to show you how to label the like you would see in a plat. So let's pause here and I'll see you back in a minute.